Hello, everybody. My name is Alexander Kazina, and you're listening to Press YYZ, your number one shop for all Canadian gaming news with a uniquely Canadian twist with a side helping of Canadian goodness and a Canadian cherry right on top. My name is Alexander Kazina, and I'm your host for this evening. I got stuck in that old Mama Fratelli pirate prison maze on the moon last week, and yeah, it took me a real long time to get out of it. But don't worry, I'm okay now. I have space rabies, but because we're all social distancing from each other, it's not that big of a deal. We're all going to be perfectly fine. And I am joined today by Mitch George.
That was too many Canada references off the top.
By AJ Fraser.
Please don't time travel.
By Alexander Ballant.
Sounded like a fever dream. Hello.
And finally, by the head of HR, Nathan McKernery.
Does this podcast take place in Canada?
I'm pretty sure it does. I mean, because we're all social distancing, it could theoretically take place anywhere now.
It's true.
So, what have you all been up to?
Not a lot.
I mean, you know, outside of staring out of your windows at the horror around you.
Hey, why did the chicken cross the road?
It shouldn't be doing that right now. It should be social distancing.
Oh, that's true. Fair enough.
It wanted It wanted to get away from somebody on the other side of the sidewalk.
Yeah, you nailed it, actually. Yeah, germs. Germs are bad.
I don't know, were you guys trying to set up a bit there? Like, was that something that you had pre-rehearsed and you're like, oh man, we're going to do the fun chicken social distancing corona joke or whatever?
We rehearse?
I
mean, if you listen to,
I'm sorry, Mitch, we haven't been inviting you to the meetings. I'm sorry.
God damn it.
Did you not get the script?
No, I've been too busy playing Doom and Animal Crossing.
Yeah, he clearly hasn't gotten the script. He was supposed to say there, no, I haven't been playing Animal Crossing and Doom.
No, that is what I've been doing. I literally just said that.
No,
God damn it.
But you said them out of order. You were supposed to say Animal Crossing first and then Doom second.
Does it really matter?
I mean, maybe.
They're both great games. It doesn't matter what order they come in, even though Animal Crossing is selling better.
What a fantastic week for two banger titles that, I mean, I can say for sure I've been playing both of them, and oh my god, I am in love with both.
Absolutely. Just on a bit of a sour note, this past weekend I unfortunately lost my grandfather. And
our condolences.
Before we fully start this podcast and go into what is bound to be a very bountiful discussion across two games, I'm going to open one of his favorite beers. Racists Go Away. This beer is called Tsingtao. It's a Chinese beer.
Okay.
It's one of his favorites, and I'm going to enjoy it throughout the podcast.
So I'm, happy to hear that. What percentage of alcohol per volume are we talking about?
4.5.
All right. That's a nice and even number. Yeah. Well, it's actually not really even, but anyways. We're going to actually be saving the Doom, Eternal, and Animal Crossing talk until later in the show. We figured we'd make it our topic of the show this week. So, is there anything other than Doom and Animal Crossing you guys have been up to?
So, Cozy, you and I we actually spent quite a lot of time together for not being allowed to be together.
Yes, that's right. I'm glad. See, here we go. That wasn't on the script, but that was actually word for word what I wanted you to say on the script.
Well,
no, it says improv right above that section of the script. So
that's
really
did
great.
That's the only great. It's the only speed I have. So this past weekend, you and I and Alex actually participated in the kind of funny social distancing Smash Brothers tournament.
I was there.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, Nathan. You were there too. It was just AJ who was missing.
Yeah, I was a little busy, as I mentioned earlier.
And you guys will be happy that I took a bit of a different role. I did participate, but since Nathan and I both help organize for Kind of Funny's Toronto fan group, I actually helped with a lot of the facilitation behind the scenes and actually spent some time doing commentary, which was very new to me. Like, I've never streamed. This is the closest I get to doing anything like that. So it was actually a really, really cool experience to work with some of those guys and help facilitate the tournament.
Kyle's great.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and I want to say it's great that you got to commentate because you got to insert a lot of references to Press YYZ the entire time.
Yeah, basically anytime I saw a user that I recognized as a KFTO member. I tried to call it out. So the three of you, I know Brad Shankar was in there, so shout out to him and the work he does over at Mobile Syrup. If you're not following, they do great games, mobile cell phone coverage, overall tech coverage for Canada. And they put out some really interesting pieces, so definitely go check out Mobile Syrup if you're not already following them. I'm trying to remember some other names that jumped out that were Toronto representing, but it was definitely every time one of y'all jumped into a match, and unfortunately, I think I made it the furthest out of the four of us in the tournament.
Yeah.
Wait,
I got completely shit on immediately.
wasn't my showing really impressive?
Oh yeah, well, it was better than Alex's.
No, I don't think it was.
Okay, I want to defend
No,
myself just slightly.
No.
It didn't
You showed up
character.
late. You didn't know how to join the lobby, and you went with the default character of Mario.
I didn't know that it didn't let me pick a character.
It does let you pick a character. You just didn't understand online Smash Brothers. That was the
Yeah,
problem.
I've never played online Smash, so you know what?
I played as Zero Suit Samus, and I went up against a Bowser user, and while unfortunately I got eliminated in the first round, it was honestly it was honestly a pretty good fight. Like, if of any match that could have eliminated me in the first round of any tournament, that was the one I would have wanted to have, because we both had a good back and forth.
At least you didn't die twice by falling off the edge and not recovering.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
how
wait
I
a
Only
minute.
died.
me like
Hold on a second. I didn't realize until now that was you.
yeah, it was.
Oh dear.
You weren't listening to my wonderful commentary. Completely crap on him and the way he was playing.
Oh no, I remember all that stuff, but anyways, I'll stop making fun of Alex now.
Yeah.
Oh no, please continue.
I gave Cozy, gave you the extra shout out for the Cozina for kind of funny stuff. So making sure people tried to jump on and check that stuff out. And that's part of the reason why you actually missed last week's show was your second ever Cozina for kind of funny direct went up. And that was really well done. So congrats to you on that. It was really good work.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, your effort in those videos it really shows, and they're very well put together, and I really enjoyed watching both of them so far.
Thank you. I'm going to be making some efforts over the coming week and so to make sure that direct gets in front of as many more eyes as possible, because, obviously, Kind of Funny is looking for people that are motivated and have the talents that they want at their offices, but to some degree, the up-and-comer process is contingent on popularity, on them knowing that you actually exist.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that they know I exist.
If they don't, they sure will after they check out those videos.
Yeah.
So the other thing that you and I did together, Cozy, just to get over the you and I hanging out bit, was we actually had a Netflix party the other night.
We did.
So us and a few other Kind of Funny best friends from the Toronto area actually jumped on Netflix, used this Chrome extension called Netflix Party, which lets you sync up everybody's session essentially. So they're all following the video at the same time with chat. And we watched Shaun of the Dead, which was really a really weird experience given the current situation. And, just finding ways to socialize without being near people was weird, but I was glad to have it myself.
So, like, what I'm trying to understand is, did you intentionally pick Shaun of the Dead because
Yes.
of... Okay.
Yes. It was tongue-in-cheek
Okay.
around the current situation, but
I mean,
nonetheless, it was bizarre.
I mean, I thought it was bizarre because of how many early 2000s isms. I almost said 2007 isms, but it takes place earlier than that.
I think it came out 2004.
2004, yeah.
2004. Yeah.
One thing I forgot about that movie is someone uses the N-word, and
Oh, yeah.
that is very much out of place in today's society. That would not fly. That was weird.
Otherwise, though, it was a good time. That's a
Yeah.
movie that's been on my bucket list for a while, and I'm glad I got around to it.
Oh, had you not seen it before that?
No.
Oh, wow.
Did you find, being this your first time watching, that it kind of like held up and stood the test of time? It's a kind of a period piece of its time, but did it still hold up in your head?
Yeah, did it live up to the expectations?
I mean, I feel like Mitch can answer this better because he's seen it already, but he has.
Well,
seen
no,
it
I
already.
wanted your opinion. Like, I wanted your opinion coming to it new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would say that for the most part it does. I think that towards the end, I feel like it falls apart a little bit when they're in the bar and when people start dropping like flies. But I feel like the final few scenes at the very, very end of the movie kind of bring it all back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you. The ending does feel a little bit rushed, but the choreographed fight scene to Queen's "Don't Stop Me Now" is some of the best, cinematic work that I think Edgar Wright has done. And honestly, I think that sort of set up what he did with Baby Driver, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. So, yeah, it still definitely holds up compared to when it first released.
Yeah, so I should mention I had seen the movie that follows this movie thematically, The End of the World.
Oh, The World's End.
The World's End.
The World's End. Sorry, and I mean, it's been a while since I've seen that movie. I feel like that movie had the kind of moral center of that movie. I think was a little bit more prevalent than this movie, but I think that this movie was definitely funnier. So, I feel like myself and Mitch have been talking for quite some time here.
Oh, I got more to say. I've been bottled up for a week, but I'll let someone else take their turn.
Yeah, any of the three other you guys been doing anything else other than hanging out on desolate islands and building them up with weeds and bells?
So,
and demons.
Yeah, and murdering all the demons. I mean, for the most part, those two things have been the main things that I've been doing, but as well, while playing Animal Crossing, because it's a game that you can kind of divide your attention with, which is really nice. So I've also been binging It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is, a very, very, very great show. It is extraordinarily funny. I mostly started it because after finishing Mythic Quest, the stuff that was really funny in that, I knew was what Always Sunny was like, and so I just decided to just take the dive. And so far, I'm on season 7 of, I think there's 11 to 14. I don't know exactly how many there are, but there's an absurd amount of seasons right now, and it's really, really good. Yeah, I really have been enjoying it. It's a great show to just binge 6 or 7 episodes in one sitting, and then just kind of go off and then come back to it. Yeah. So that's kind of it. Besides the games.
I will say, despite all the sadness that I had in my life this weekend, the games came out at a great time for that. But I did inherit a literal Korean War. I don't know if it was used bayonet that my grandfather had. And it's super sharp, but it's been well taken care of. It's well oiled. It's just one of those historic relics that's actually super cool that I didn't even know existed until this weekend. So
I mean, I'm happy to hear that, because I think we all know now that if things go really bad, we all out to get to AJ's house.
Absolutely. I have protection, if you know what I mean, huh?
Okay. I get the sense from the speed at which the show is going that we all really want to talk a lot about Doom and Animal Crossing. So I'm going to give you guys 3-ish seconds right now to blurt out anything else that you want to say that is not Doom or Animal Crossing. Are you ready? All right, 3.
We're not going to do it at the same
2,
time.
1. Going once. Going twice.
Nathan, you haven't
going
been
thrice, and that's it. All right.
Just trying to give Nathan an opportunity. He hasn't been providing.
I think his mic is muted.
Talking much.
Nathan, are you okay?
Yeah, I think his mic is muted.
Oh no, Nathan! Nathan!
We lost Nathan's audio.
Nathan, blink twice if you're okay.
It's probably like the last time where we lost his audio on the stream, but it was still recording. So there's going to be all this background noise on the podcast itself of Nathan providing his feedback, and none of us will be reacting to it whatsoever. Because that definitely happened the last time.
Still can't hear you, buddy. I see your lips moving, but we can't hear you.
We'll give you a minute to fix your technical issues that you're running into. And while you do so, I'll say that the only other thing that I've been into gaming related is I dusted off the old PSVR and jumped into a game that I had been meaning to finish for a while and did finish, and that's Tetris Effect.
Ooh, nice.
As well as I started Astrobot Rescue Mission, which honestly is probably one of, if not the best platformer I've ever played.
Oh.
By
I
far.
have that game as well, and I'm definitely going to want to give it a shot at some point.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yes!
Yay! I just wanted to talk
Okay,
quickly. I talked about a game a few weeks ago that I had for review that I couldn't talk about yet. It's out. It came out on Tuesday. Paper Beast.
Okay.
Are you guys familiar with the game?
What is this game?
It's
I've never
a
heard of it.
VR
Yeah, it's-
game, right? With like paper craft animals in a desert.
So
or
it's
something?
a VR game. It's made by the guy who did Another World back on the Super Nintendo. So it's this really,
Is this
yeah.
sorry? Is this like the PC game basically that was ported to a bunch of stuff way back in the 90s or whatever?
That was Another World, yes. So
Okay.
it was like the first like game using 3D, trying to use 3D polygonal models. They remastered it a few years ago for PS3.
Yeah.
But Paper Beast basically puts you on this voyage in this foreign, unique world that I've never been in before. It's everything's papercraft. It looks beautiful. The VR blew me away, and the way the puzzles were solved and the way the things like work together in the ecosystem. But once you finish the adventure, which is only a few hours long, there's a whole sandbox mode that you can be God in this universe. And you can terraform the world, and you can put water in, and you can put like all the creatures in, and they just coexist with each other, and they'll start to hunt each other, or different things will happen at night. And it's just this really unique experience in VR. It's probably one of the best things I've played.
Wow.
Like I'm very, very high on it. It's reviewing very, very well as well. I'm not the only critic who thought very, very highly of it. It was revealed during a state of play, I want to say last year.
That seems accurate.
Seeing how they started them last year.
Since they only started
Yeah.
last year.
But Paper Beast, if you've got PSVR, and it's a PSVR exclusive at the moment, it's worth checking out.
Yeah, so right now, as of recording, it's got an 81 on Metacritic, which is really good for a VR title. So I'm definitely going to keep this one on my radar if it maybe goes on sale or anything like that in the near to distant future.
We should also mention, also at the time of this release, Half-Life Alyx just came out, which I feel like we're all obliged to play at some point, considering that 3 of us are named Alex. But unfortunately, I think that none of us have the tech that we need to play it at the moment. So, unless I'm mistaken about
Nope.
that?
No. But it's definitely on my bucket list to get a VR headset that can play that game, because I've been hearing that it's
When it comes to
fantastic.
PSVR, I'll touch it.
It'll never come to PSVR.
PSVR 2.
It might come to PSVR too.
Dreamcast 3.
Now you're just throwing out ballpark ideas, and I
sorry,
like
thought
it.
That's what we were doing.
I
Wait,
like
are we
it.
skipping Dreamcast
Turbo
2?
Graphics VR.
CDI, Zelda, new.
Oh my
game.
god, I want that so bad.
No,
Me
they're
too.
going the Xbox route, where their consoles are named Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and then Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a circle.
A unified
So it'll
platform.
be Dreamcast, Dreamcast 3, and then Dreamcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm looking over the run of show, and I just realized that apparently, Mitch, you have a deal that you want to talk about before we get into Ye Olde Animal Crossing.
Yeah, so this one I just noticed today, in that Control is 60% off right now on the PSN. So in Canada, that'll run you $32 at the moment, and it's also part of PlayStation Now. So if you do subscribe to that, you can download and play it. You don't have to stream it with PS4 games, as far as I know, based on a friend I have who both listens to this show and is in love with Control, playing it on PS Now right now. So yeah, go check that out if you're interested in it all. It is by far, I didn't get to it until early this year, but it's the best game I've played so far this year, and I've played Animal Crossing and Doom, so that says something.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The storytelling is so... Remedy does stories different than everyone else when it comes to like third-person action games.
Totally.
And yeah, like it's insane. It requires like it's not exactly like clear up front, but it really just makes you constantly think about the game. You're thinking about it like I mean, I'm still kind of thinking about it ever since I finished it back in January. And so like it's awesome, and telekinesis is never not cool in a game, so it's just amazingly satisfying. Great game.
Neat. All right. And finally,
I've finished
Oh.
my beer. Sorry. I just needed to let you know that.
all
It
right.
just means you have to
Are
get
there
another
any-
one.
Yeah. Hey, look, I got another one right here.
We're getting saucy this episode.
Oh boy.
Before I finally announce that it's time to do the topic of the show, does anyone else want to issue an important interruption?
The only thing I want to say is, with the state of the world as it is, with most businesses being shut down, I know Canada, or at least Ontario, has issued an essential services, non-essential service shutdown. The cities are all declaring states of emergency and things are getting crazy, and it's really nice to have this as an escape with y'all to just sit together, talk about games once a week. And also there's no news there's no news happening, so we're just going to totally skip that section of the show, jump right into our topic of the show.
I love you too, man.
Thank you, Mitch. Although I was supposed to announce that it was the topic of the show, not you.
How rude.
You've been talking about it as the topic of the show all night. And by
But
that, night, I mean for the last 20 minutes.
Exactly. For the last 20 minutes, I've been trying to find an opening, just a door out of this maze of conversations and men in which I can finally say, it's time for the topic of the show. And then you stole my thunder.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, it's time for the topic of the show. We're talking about Animal Crossing and Doom. What do you guys think of it?
Doom
so
first.
good.
Let's talk about Doom first, because I think there's less of us have less things to say about Doom than we do about Animal Crossing. So
That's fair.
Alex?
So it's a good game. It's really good. I guess I'll sort of spearhead the conversation.
Well, you're the only one of us that's finished it, right?
I have finished it twice at this point, and I just started it on Nightmare.
Your girlfriend must be so pleased.
I haven't seen her in like 14 days, and I'm really sad about
Oh,
it.
shit.
Yeah,
But,
I'm
man.
sort of in the same boat with my fiance. It sucks, man.
Yeah.
It really, really sucks. I miss her so much.
Yeah, I just want to watch her play Animal Crossing because she's like genuinely, like she's been playing them since GameCube one, and she's like amazing at it. Like she just knows everything about it. I constantly have to ask her things about it.
I thought we were talking about Doom.
Okay, back to Doom. But I'm sorry, I got distracted.
We'll have the Friends and Family Talk Animal Crossing podcast once we're allowed to see our friends and family again.
Oh, that would be nice. Okay, so Doom Eternal is obviously, if you don't know, it's the sequel to Doom 2016, which is the reboot of Doom. Just, getting all of that out of the way first. It's the best first-person shooter I've ever played. It is, without a doubt,
Ooh.
it is taken, it's better than Doom 2016. It's mechanically, it is better than Halo 3. Mechanically, it's better than Titanfall 2. Those are my top echelon first-person shooters, and I think Doom Eternal is better almost in every single way. There are some things about it that I do have some problems with that I think are different than 2016, but 90% of the changes that they made from 2016 are just fundamentally better. Because one of the biggest things about Doom 2016 was every question could be solved with shotgun. You just need to use the shotgun, and you will kill the thing. But in Doom Eternal, yes, you could use the shotgun and you'll eventually kill stuff, but there's a big emphasis on strategy, on coming up with different effective ways of killing demons because they have different weak spots. Like the Arachnotron, which is like the spider guy with the big brain, he's got a turret on the top of his head, and if you use the assault rifle with the scope mod and you shoot the turret, it becomes less useful. And so you're constantly, as you're moving around the map, which also the verticality is insanely faster, which Doom 2016 was, I thought, the fastest first-person shooter I'd ever played. But Doom Eternal is faster than 2016, which is insane, but it's not overwhelming in how fast it is which I really appreciate. But you're constantly coming up with, you have a million different things that are going on. Like you need to keep track of your weapons, ammo, and your armor, and you just need to then keep track of all the enemies and where you're moving. And so, but it does it all, you eventually become, it's both power fantasy and challenge, where I think Doom 2016 was only power fantasy. That was a lot.
Yeah. No, you,
It's what we expected.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
I could
you
keep
totally
going.
nailed it. I haven't played too much. My perspective on it is a little bit unique because, as I mentioned on last week's show, I decided to get it on Stadia.
Oh, man, what is that like?
Yeah, honestly, when you play it on a PC, mouse and keyboard, it's absolutely fine. I had issues with the controller. Now, I can't confirm whether or not it's similar issues with PS4 and Xbox that I had with Stadia specifically, but I didn't have these problems on PS4 with Doom 2016. I didn't have these issues with Doom 2016 on Xbox because I believe it came to Game Pass a while ago. So if you're itching to play that, by all means do that. But I had this weird issue with the Stadia controller where the right stick, so aiming, didn't feel good. I could not line up a shot for the life of me. I was also playing on Hurt Me Plenty difficulty. I still am. It feels good with the mouse and keyboard. That could just be inherently a Doom thing, but Doom 2016 felt good with the controller on PS4. So I don't know if it's in particular Stadia issue or not. In terms of the visual quality and everything, it looks great. It holds up really well, even through the slight compression that is the video streaming on Stadia. On Stadia, I read this on the Stadia subreddit. They have slightly, because everybody's staying at home and working from home, they have slightly reduced your ability to increase the quality. You can't play it in 4K. You can only play it in, I think, 1080, and that's totally fine for me. Because of the state of the world, and they're trying to reduce the strain on the infrastructure, Google-wise, and all that. But yeah, no, I'm actually only a couple. I think I just started the second level, and I'm actually enjoying it a lot more now that I'm playing with mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, I gotta say, mouse and keyboard is kind of the way to go. I haven't played Eternal yet with the controller, but I did play Doom 2016 with the controller, and though it's good because they do, in that game at least, have very good aim assist, and I'm sure that it's the case in Eternal as well.
It is.
It just, okay, fair enough. It just hits differently when you have the precise movements of a mouse and a keyboard for a shooter like that.
Maybe that's the issue. Maybe because Stadia also has the option for mouse and keyboard. Like, you can just actively swap. You can pick up a controller, and it just automatically switches over as if it were like a Steam game where you just grab the controller or whatever. But maybe because it's almost theoretically a PC game, that aim assist is automatically turned off, and maybe that's what I was experiencing. I don't know.
It'd be worth going in through the settings.
Yeah,
that's true.
As of time of recording, I've played maybe an hour and a half. It only got delivered today, and I wasn't actually originally planning on buying this when it first came out, to be honest, because I didn't have money to spend on that and Animal Crossing, but I ended up finding a coupon and used that coupon. Shout out to Lbabbins on Twitter. I know I talk about this account a lot. LBABINZ. It's a great account. Posts lots of great deals. It's where I get most of the deals for this show from. And there was like a $10 coupon from Staples of all places, and that's how I ended up getting it. And I can talk about the controller experience because I've been playing on my PS4 Pro. And just for frame of reference, I played Doom 2016 on the Nintendo Switch, both in handheld and docked.
I'm so glad you're playing it on a real machine.
Why did I play Doom 2016 on the Nintendo Switch?
Because people tried to make you think it was a good idea because they want to be like, you should play everything on Switch. The truth is, not everything's meant to be played on Switch.
Okay, like it was a really good experience on the Switch. I am, however, glad that I'm playing this one on a PS4 Pro because, oh my god, is this game pretty. It's so pretty. Like, it's beyond what I expected this game to look like compared to what I played of Doom 2016. And for the most part, I'm having no issues with the controls. Getting around, the traversal in the game is a lot more than was in Doom 2016. So like Alex said, there's a lot more verticality. There's climbing now, so there's some mild platforming. The dash ability is I don't know if that's new or not, but
dash is new.
It is new, yeah. So that helps a lot with the traversal, because I always felt like with Doom 2016 I ended up getting like backed into a corner, and if I didn't use up all my ammo I was gonna die. Whereas I have a better sense of movement and like the arena that I'm fighting in with this one compared to Doom 2016. God, I just want to stop recording this right now and play more. It's so good.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt you guys for a quick second and ask kind of a nerdy controller question? So I played Doom 2016 on the PlayStation 4, and one thing that I could never quite wrap my head around, and this is, I acknowledge, super weird, but I can never quite wrap my head around that, like, for example, the BFG was assigned to a face button. Like,
Well, it's so in Eternal, they haven't gotten to getting the BFG yet.
Nope.
But it is now part of your regular weapon rotation.
Spoilers.
So
Okay.
you can scroll to it. Which actually I was gonna say is this is such a nitpicky thing for myself personally, but it's such a minor mechanic thing that I don't actually like. I wish it was assigned to a button. There are other
really?
things I do because there will be times because I'm constantly switching between. This is gonna get really into the weeds, but so on
Do it. Get into the weeds.
On mouse and keyboard, when you hold Q, if you tap Q, it'll go to whatever weapon you were using last. If you hold it, you'll open up the weapon wheel.
So on
And if you-
controller, that's the R1 or right button
Okay, fair enough.
by default.
And so a lot of the time, and also if you use the scroll wheel, you can also cycle between all your weapons. Now that the BFG is in the rotation and the ammo on that is so much more limited because you don't get it via chainsawing enemies, I will sometimes when I'm just like in the motions, I will be scrolling, just going to the next weapon, and sometimes the BFG will come up and I'm just not even like, I don't even register that that's the next weapon, and then I click and then I use the BFG when I don't really want to, and it just kind of, I feel like I wish I had more agency of just like, I want to decide when it's going to be coming up by the button press. I liked it better in 2016 like that, but that's such a minor nitpicky thing that I'm okay with.
So what is
being that
nice,
way.
at least with the weapon wheel and the way it is, when you go into it, it does slow the action quite a bit, at least on console. I don't know if it was the same on
does.
PC,
It does as well.
which is nice because I've only just unlocked my third weapon, so the weapon wheel becomes a lot more important when you're not just quick switching between. So with the tap of the weapon select button, you're switching between your two most recently used weapons, but you really do need the weapon wheel because ammo in this game does not come up very often unless you're using up all your chainsaw uses. But what is interesting though is that knowing the BFG will eventually be in the weapon wheel, like why it would be nice if you like. The nice thing about this game is it does support full button remapping, so you can do custom controls, you can do whatever you want, which is really cool. But the fact that you have both the chainsaw and flamethrower, I want to say,
Yeah.
attached to face buttons, whereas the BFG now is not, is kind of a drag. But I mean, I'll tell you what I feel about that when I actually get to it.
Okay. I mean, to get back to what I was saying earlier, like I'm actually totally happy and fine with the BFG being assigned to the like rotation of weapons that you have, because there were totally instances in Doom 2016's campaign where I totally forgot where or how to access the BFG, and I totally see why you would find it a nuisance what they did, Alex. But I personally am totally fine with this change.
Yeah, like I completely get why they did it, because I know for myself when I probably played the game the first time that I forgot about it until like the last boss. So most people are only going to play the game maybe once, and so to get them to be able to use everything in their arsenal, I'm totally cool with that. Fair enough. I can continue. I've got a couple of things that I wanted to just sort of bring up a big point of this game compared to 2016. There's one major difference I would say between it.
No spoilers.
No, I'm not gonna spoil it. This is like mechanics only
Okay.
that you've already experienced, and I think you really experience it at the beginning of the game as well. This game is super resource management, way more than 2016.
There's
have way
no
less-
ammo anywhere.
yeah, you have way less ammo at the beginning of the game. Glory kills give you 0 ammo now. You have to chainsaw, but
Yeah.
now your chainsaw is actually on a recharge. So it's constantly evaluating how much ammo you have in which guns, and you have to then but now the armor is not just scattered around. I mean, it is scattered around the arena, but it's also attached to your flame spitter. So if you set an enemy on fire and kill the enemy, armor explodes. So now you can decide what you you can evaluate what resource you need more. Do you need ammo, health, or do you need armor? And then you can make the decisions as you're going through the arena which thing is more important to you. And I really like that difference, because then it makes your choices more impactful to how you're going to survive this next encounter, which also the game is way harder.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it does make it much more of a mind game as to what you're going to prioritize and when. But for a game where you're just supposed to feel like this badass running through everything and blowing up every demon you run into, it kind of takes away from it when I have to think, oh, okay, well, do I have enough ammo in this gun to finish this encounter? Do I need to use the chainsaw? Do I need to use the flamethrower so that I can get armor, so I can survive long enough to do this, that, or the next thing? It becomes a little too much to manage, at least for me in the early game. Maybe once things open up and I have more weapons and things like that, it won't be as limiting. But for the first hour and a half, like the first 90 minutes I've played of it, I've really felt that resource constraint.
Yeah, I've being only on like the second level at this point, I've noticed a similar issue where, you know, I'm running around and I'm just trying to kill as many dudes as I can, but then I'm running out of ammo, and then it's just like I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that specifically. I know what at some point I know it's just gonna click, and it'll make absolute sense, and there'll be a good fluidity and a good flow to it all. But you know, it's
yeah, there really is a point where it just kind of, for me especially, being so wrapped up in 2016 and how that game works, like to a beat by beat level, that like now there really is a point where the game just like it just clicks and you're like, oh, this is so much better, and I don't know if I could go back to 2016 the way that I once was. This game is so it does, I think I said this before, but it does a really good job of blending the power fantasy and the challenge, where I don't think the challenge was as much there in 2016, and I really like that. This game feels like the most intense multiplayer match you've ever played in your entire life, where you barely win, except for you're facing AIs the whole time.
I mean, I feel like I better get around to platinuming Doom 2016 now.
So the thing I'm missing most, honestly, going from the Switch to the PS4 with Doom, is when I played Doom 2016 handheld, it had motion control, and honestly, for finer aiming, it was really nice to have that. Not to say that I'm not enjoying Doom Eternal for that reason. Like the horsepower of the system is definitely coming out. Like I'm definitely seeing it with this game, but that was a little nice touch that I think it was Panic Button was the developer that ported it, Doom 2016 to the Switch. So it was a nice touch for them to add that in the port. I don't think it was initial, but it was in a later update. But playing it with that turned on was really nice in handheld, and I do miss it. But honestly, Doom Eternal has just blown me, like the little bit I've played of it, it's blown away all my expectations of this.
Alex, have you touched the multiplayer at all?
I've played a couple of rounds. I think it's extraordinarily underwhelming. Like, they were really promoting this multiplayer mode. So the multiplayer mode, for those who might not be aware, is a 2v1 where one person plays as the Slayer and two people play as different demons. You can choose the Marauder, I'm trying to remember some of the other ones that you can play as. I think you can play as a Prowler, whatever. Like, you can play as you have a couple of selection of demons. And it's the 2v1, and there's some AI demons as well, like some AI imps, and they're just trying to kill the Slayer while the Slayer is trying to kill the two player-controlled demons. And it's just really underwhelming. Like, I played a little bit. I played as a Prowler, and I played as the Slayer for one of the rounds. And as the Slayer, you're severely underpowered, which I just didn't really like all that much. And as the demons, like, they're not very, at least the one I played as wasn't very fun. And I don't know, it just, all like their animations for the demons are not like they are in the game, because they kind of can't be, because they're not as fluid, because you have to have input of control. And so I think it's really strange that id has been so on top of like just making these awesome single player campaigns in these last two games, but they've really fumbled on both multiplayer modes for both of these Dooms, which at some point it's like, why bother?
Can I tangent the conversation for a second?
Go for it.
Oh,
So, Alex, you talked about playing as the demon, and I did notice an interesting segment of that game where you do get to play as one of the demons in the campaign. And I noticed that while you went through the inaugural stream on the Press YYZ Twitch account. So I just kind of wanted to know how you felt about your first time streaming.
Yes, so I was so excited for Doom on Thursday night, and I had so there's a whole bunch.
Go on.
But I was so excited about Doom on Thursday night that I was like, I looked up when is it going to unlock, and there was, when you look up something on Google and it shows up it shows on the Google
The little
page,
preview of a news article or whatever.
yeah, that has the information you're looking for. And so when I did that, I saw it unlocks for the rest of the world at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard. Or no, it was 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock
Pacific
PST,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, 4
Which
o'clock
would be
PST.
7 o'clock
which
our
would-
time.
Yes, thank you. And so I was like, oh, okay, so Doom's going to unlock at 7. I'm going to start streaming a couple hours beforehand. I'm going to play some Master Chief Collection. I first wanted to see if I could stream because now that I'm locked inside my house, I need things to do.
You need to
And
talk to the
so-
internet.
Yeah, so but yeah, and so I was like, I'm gonna play some Master Chief Collection. And then stream Doom for the first couple of hours. And turns out I was wrong about when it came out.
The internet lied to you? How dare they?
Yeah. I can't believe it. You really think that's what people would do? They just go on the internet and tell lies?
I was just gonna say that.
We're all
Yeah,
simpatico at the moment.
way ahead of you. But yeah, so then I got really, really disappointed. I clipped the moment on the twitch.tv/PressYYZ Twitch account. So if you want to see the moment of realization that I had where literally my whole world was coming crashing down on me.
I was in
you
chat.
can-
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, some of my friends from school were watching. They were laughing at me too. It was great. But yeah, so this is going to be a thing that I'm going to do semi-regularly of just jumping on the Press YYZ Twitch account and playing. Right now I'm locked to games that are on my PC because I don't have a capture card for either my PS4 or my Switch. And I want to make this a little bit more of a regular thing, especially right now because I have the time for it. And yeah, streaming is fun,
And I mean,
but it's also exhausting.
we've got
I
a-
don't
we've
know
got
how
a-
you do it, Cozy. I congratulate you.
I was gonna say, we
because,
ha-
oh my god, it's
thank you.
exhausting.
We have a resident streamer you can go to for any advice you may need, and that's Cozy.
yeah, and by all means, do come to me for advice. I'm sad to say that unfortunately I missed your broadcast while it was happening live. I think I was still trying to get through the moat section of the Mama Fratelli Pirate Prison Maze.
The what, who, what, now what?
Definitely me. It doesn't matter.
Yes, it
We
does.
should
You
all
have to
forget about
explain this pirate maze you were going through at the time.
it. I mean, I feel like the name of it describes it pretty well. It was a pirate maze.
But it sounds like it was a pirate maze in the basement of an Italian restaurant.
Moving on, I want to ask, to get back to your comments about the multiplayer of Doom Eternal, though, do you feel like the lackluster multiplayer for this game really ruins the experience? Because I remember...
Absolutely not.
Okay, because I remember with the
gotta just say
original
that.
Doom 2016, I feel like initially the reaction around that game was, oh man, it's pretty disappointing that the multiplayer isn't up to snuff. And I feel like pretty quickly everybody was like, but you know what, man, this single player campaign is superb. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, with 2016 especially, it didn't matter as much because the multiplayer wasn't even made by id. It was a Certain Affinity, which
It was just a deathmatch thing, right?
Yeah, it was like a kind of a really lame arena.
Yeah.
Team
They tried to go back
deathmatch.
to their roots.
Yeah, there was some points where you could play as demons, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
but...
correct.
So, I mean,
that's correct.
I wouldn't call it lame or going back to their roots, because, I mean, Certain Affinity's experience is in developing mostly multiplayer maps and helping out with the multiplayer aspects of the Halo franchise. So they're really drawing on some real,
Sorry,
like,
I
a
meant
real
going back to
pedigree of
Doom.
experience.
I meant going back to Doom and id's roots, kind of.
Yeah, that's
where
fair.
where you have like Quake and stuff like that. That era.
Sure.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely, I mean, Doom Eternal and Doom 2016 are both amazing full packages that If you paid the $90 Canadian right now to get them, you would be in, and you only played the single player, you would be in for a hell of an experience, no pun intended. It's fantastic, and the lackluster multiplayer doesn't take away from that at all.
I'm really happy to hear
Can
that.
I just stop recording and go play more?
I'm so authentically happy that this game came out and it's as good as it was. Like, my expectations for it were astronomical, as you know, and I was beyond satisfied with it. And the fact that a Doom game and a Half-Life game have both come out in the same year. I haven't played Half-Life, but the fact that both of these games are at least 9 out of 10s makes the eyes on Halo Infinite that much harsher.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yeah, like, if Halo Infinite... I'm going to say this right now, Doom Eternal is going to be better than Halo Infinite by a long margin. Halo Infinite is not going to live up to any expectations that I have for it. And that's really disappointing to say.
I mean, we don't even know what it is at this point.
Exactly.
So lower your expectations now. With regards to Doom specifically, story wise, without going into spoilers or anything, I've listened to a couple podcasts and I've heard that story wise, like, it's trying to do what.
It's trying to be a little bit deeper.
The comparison that I've heard is like it's trying really hard to do more and to live up to the expectations that Doom 2016 set, but it can come across similar to Duke Nukem.
I wouldn't say it's that bad because, like, I mean, Duke Nukem is just kind of like was kind of just really trying too hard, where I feel like Doom Eternal is trying to be more story focused. Like, you can tell that almost instantly, the fact that there are actual cutscenes and it's not just it's not from a first person perspective, that you actually see the Doom Slayer, you see his face, which I don't know if I really like all that much. They try to have a bigger emphasis on the story, and I don't think it worked. One of the things I really liked about Doom 2016 was the story that was there was just a background for this embodiment of violence that you were playing as, and it was just an excuse to kill demons, where I don't think... The Doom story is stupid. Doom Eternal's story is stupid, and it doesn't matter, but they really, really tried to... Like, they really thought that they could make something.
They tried to make it matter and kind of stumbled over the finish line.
It also didn't take us 15 years to get a sequel to Doom 2016 the way that it did for Duke Nukem.
That's fair.
Yeah. I would also say... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I just want to tune in for... Sorry, I said doom in. I want to hone in for a quick second on the Doom guy. You mentioned how you get to see his face a little bit more. Is he also, like, in general, like, more of an expressive character in this game? Because, and I'm going to go on a very short, very quick little tangent here. I remember before playing Doom 2016, I read a lot of reviews and impressions of the game that talked about how expressive of a character he was, how he would do those fist bumps with the, like, little Doom guy dolls, how he would give the thumbs up when he was sinking into the lava and dying. And I went into the game expecting that he would be this expressive character, and then kind of came out of it being like, he actually was not as expressive as I feel like people hyped him up to be. Jumping ahead, like, would you say that, yeah, Doom Guy and Doom Eternal is kind of similar to how he was in 2016, or is there more to him this time around?
I would say, I mean, there is more to him, but not much more. Like, I don't want to spoil anything for the game because both AJ and Mitch are very, very not far into it, so I'm not going to spoil anything for it. But in 2016, you got this, like, essence of personality when he does things like when Samuel's like, okay, you have to remove the thing very carefully, and he kicks it open because he's just like, he's blunt force as a person. You got you got essence of personality from that, where I feel like they tried to take that and then push it to the next level, and I don't know if it really mattered. I felt like the balance that they struck in 2016 with who the Doom Slayer is, I think was a better way of going about it than in Eternal, but I can't really go into more details without bringing up actual examples of it.
Yeah, with the limited time I've had with the game, there is no story here. It makes zero sense. The Doomslayer is not a character. He's just an avatar, and that's it. That's literally all I've gotten out of this game so far, but the mechanics are so good. The shooting is so good. The movement is so fluid. The game levels are really well designed. They make me want to go back and find the secrets that I missed and things like that, because thank God, they improved the map in this game compared to Doom 2016, because the map in Doom 2016 was god-awful, and this one is actually good.
I mean, I personally I did not have a problem at all with the map in Doom 2016. I mean, I appreciate it because I'm a huge fan of the Metroid Prime games, and I've got heavy Metroid Prime's vibes exploring it. Like, in what way is the map, would you say, that much better in this game?
I would just say, like, I think what Mitch is referring to is like the actual just layout of the map when you hit the button to go into the map and like look at it. You can actually tell where you are and where you need to be going. Like the actual level designs of 2016 and Eternal are great. It's just when you wanted to look at the map, like the hologram of the map, and figure out where you are and where you needed to go, it wasn't particularly clear in 2016, where in Eternal it's a lot more easier to actually figure out where the paths are that you can go and where you need to go.
Yeah, I would say at least for the levels I've played thus far, it's a lot more linear of an experience when it comes to the map. So it's a lot clearer that, yes, I'm on level X and I need to get to level Y to get to this point in terms of like the verticality of the map. I would have issues with 2016 that I'm trying to go a certain way, but when I look at the map, I can't tell if I'm on level 1 or level 2, and if I need to be on level 1 or level 2 when there were things intersecting. Like, the level design was really good, but it wasn't designed in such a way that the map made sense a lot of the time in Doom 2016. At least with what I've played thus far of Eternal, they've corrected that, as well as on the map screen, it is much clearer of, yes, these are the areas I've been to, this is where I need to go. The area, like, they're using a lot higher contrast lines on the map in this game as compared to Doom 2016, so it's a lot clearer what the boundaries are of certain areas compared to Doom 2016, which I really appreciate. And that actually kind of segues into another conversation of, I kind of went through the menus and just perused them a little bit, but a friend of the show, Steve Saylor, actually did a really good breakdown of the accessibility options in this game, and there's a lot to dig through when it comes to those menus, so kudos to Bethesda for putting that all in. They probably could have taken it a little further. There are still some limitations when it comes to an accessibility standpoint that this game presents, and I would encourage anybody to go check out Steve Saylor on Twitter. He shared a lot of information about what he felt about with Doom Eternal, and how they could have maybe done a little bit better when it comes to those settings. So definitely go give him a click, give him a like, give him a follow. And so for those who aren't familiar, Steve Saylor is technically blind, but can still play games just in a very different capacity to the way that you and I would play games. And he goes through really good breakdowns on his YouTube channel, which I think is youtube.com/snowball. I could be wrong.
Yes,
Yeah.
that sounds
That
right.
sounds right. But you can find him on Twitter at Steve Saylor, and definitely go check out everything he's doing right now when it comes to accessibility is phenomenal.
We're definitely going to try and see if we can have him on the show at some
Yes,
point.
please. That would be great.
That would be great.
Yeah, because he is, I don't know if you mentioned it, but he is a Toronto native.
No, I didn't mention it, but thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, he's a local boy, and we like to support our friends here in the local video game podcasting community.
Cool. All right. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to move things along, but I do only have one last final question. So I want everyone to, ease up, get your muscles out, just stretch.
Give me a second. I
get
just
ready
finished my drink. I got to get another one.
All right, not a problem.
I finished
yeah.
my second beer already, just so you know. I didn't want to interrupt
Ooh.
this time. Now I'm drinking water.
That's not a problem.
So.
Well, now you just interrupted saying that.
Oh,
so.
sorry. My bad.
No, it's not.
I've
a problem.
had 2 beers.
All right, final question of the night
All right.
for Doom Eternal. Does the platinum seem easy?
Oh, from what I can tell, there isn't
Oh man,
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that difficult. There's no There's,
hold on. I just want to say I was really hoping that Mitch would get into his seat as I was asking that question.
I'm here.
and
What? I heard my
just-
name.
Nah, Alex, just continue answering the question. You don't have to. We don't have to repeat it.
Oh, well, I would say it seems like it's pretty straightforward. It's there's no difficulty-based achievements or trophies, which is very, very nice. Yeah, so you don't have to beat the game on Ultra Nightmare. There's not even like in 2016, there's not even a beat it on Ultra Nightmare and not die. Like there's nothing like that. So from what I can tell, I don't see any difficult trophies, which is pretty nice. If I cared more about Steam achievements, I'd probably try to complete the game, but I'm at least gonna like go through and get all the collectibles and stuff.
How about those Stadia achievements?
Wait, that's a
No,
thing?
it's not.
They
That's
actually
the
have
joke.
those?
Yeah, no, it is
Oh,
a
okay,
thing.
got
Oh,
It
they
is a
brought
thing.
him. They finally
I
brought him out.
I popped a couple Stadia achievements before we started the podcast when I was playing there for a bit.
Wow.
They work. It's happening.
So yeah, I haven't looked at the trophy
you,
list at all, so I can't really provide any input there.
I mean, there's
I'm,
no difficulty ones, so.
I was concerned that you might erupt into a rage when you heard that my final question was asking about the platinum, but it seems like you're pretty fine with me asking.
I've
that.
been drinking,
I'm
that's
happy to
fine.
hear that. Ah, okay, got it.
So
All right.
there's a theme here.
So it does look like there are some trophies that are tied to battle mode, which is what I'm assuming is the multiplayer,
Yeah.
Alex.
It
So
is.
there,
Okay.
you have to get 200
I mean,
kills.
does it seem like they're?
Oh god, that sounds.
that's not-
sounds.
It's not
I mean,
great.
is it 200?
I-
Is it 200 player kills?
Kill 200
Because-
opponents.
Okay, because there are. I know. Oh, that's probably. It probably means other players.
That's
and
probably
if that's the
players.
case, if that is the case, then that sucks because the game is a 2v1, so there's not a lot of opportunities to be able to kill people per match.
So if you're looking at like maybe 5 kills a match, you can do the math. It's going to take you a while to. I mean, it's tedious, but it's attainable,
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
a bit of a
God.
drag. I hate seeing these kind of multiplayer trophies in these games.
Yeah.
I mean,
it would- go
personally,
ahead.
like in my experience, there have been a fair few games I played in the past that have featured multiplayer components that have trophies attached to them, and it's honestly been not that big of a deal. It's still, yeah, it is still too bad, and it's disappointing that at some point developers didn't just band together and be like, hey, we're gonna put out a separate trophy list exclusively for the multiplayer.
Ooh,
component that is separate. From
Here's
single
another
player.
nasty achievement. Kill a player demon with each of the 8 Slayer weapons. So given that you have a
God.
2/3 chance of not being the Slayer, that could also
you can,
take a while.
You can queue up for
Oh, can
Slayer
you?
or demons
Okay.
if you want. Yeah, you can choose if you want to queue up just to play a match, if you want to queue up as a Slayer, or if you want to queue up as a
Okay,
demon.
and that
So
helps a
that's at
bit,
least
but
nice.
even then, like, I
Yeah.
just don't like multiplayer trophies because I don't like multiplayer. So I'm probably not
It's
going to get
also-
this platinum. But then again, I only have 11, and I think half of
It's also
those
gonna
are Telltale platinums, so they don't count. So
It's also gonna suck when no one's playing the multiplayer for Doom
Yeah.
Eternal in like.
well, that's
3
the thing
months,
is you
so,
have to
know.
play when people are playing.
Yeah, I wonder how
like,
it's going to be on Stadia.
Good luck.
Yeah. I haven't touched the multiplayer on Stadia, so I have no idea if anybody else has bought the game there.
But isn't multiplayer on Stadia supposed to be better because you're always going to be on the same server and things like that?
Yeah, in theory you would think so.
The
that,
problem is-
that it would work that way. It's just a matter of
I
nobody's
was going to
playing it.
say it doesn't matter how many people
I was
are on
gonna
the
s-
server if there's only one person on the server.
I was
Absolutely.
gonna say, have you actually played any multiplayer games on Stadia?
I
yet?
haven't yet.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, it's been one of those things. It's Stadia's been there. Not even I've really touched it that much. Like, this is the first thing that I've purchased on Stadia other than the subscription for the past couple. Actually, it'd be 1 or 2 months that I've paid for the subscription just so I can get the pro games.
Yeah, because you got the
I'm not
first
sure,
3
but-
months free as part of Stadia, like the
Yeah, the
Stadia
first 3
Founders
months
Edition,
free.
right?
Yeah, the first 3 months free, and then how long has it been? What, November it came out?
I don't remember.
Yeah, so I probably paid for 1 month so far, and I don't regret that necessarily, but we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll
If
see what the
you-
future looks like.
If you remember those commercials, Stadia apparently defies time and space. So
Oh yeah,
could have
Reggie
been
Watts
actually
is great.
years that it's been out.
Reggie
Yeah.
Watts is great at selling me that. That's for sure.
Okay, Nathan has been sitting dejected in a corner now for close to 500
It's okay.
years.
He went. He
So
got
I
a
think that-
drink. He probably used the washroom. He had lots of time to just relax.
I know, but I think that we all come here so that we can express our thoughts and opinions equally on this podcast, and I think that we're long due giving Nathan his due. So, I want to switch the conversation over to talking about Animal Crossing, and Nathan, I
Oh,
want to give
thank
you
God.
the show floor.
So while you guys were talking about Doom, just to be fair, I was playing Animal Crossing.
That's what I expected, so that's
Oh.
fine.
What a surprise.
Animal Crossing, I didn't think I was going to like it. I got it because my wife's in love with Animal Crossing. She's played the DS version, she's played the 3DS version in ad nauseum, and I've always been, that game looks stupid. So we got the new one for the Switch, New Horizons. We unlock it at midnight on Thursday. The first game I've ever seen her start playing at midnight till 2 in the morning. But I'm right beside her the entire time. And now Tom Nook's got me good. I owe him like $550,000 in mortgage now for my next house upgrade. The game's just phenomenal. It's got a gameplay loop which just keeps me coming back and coming back and coming back. I've probably put, God, it came out last week, 10 or 15 hours into it so far. So how are you guys feeling on it?
This game hit at a time where the world can't go outside, so we're all going to tropical islands to escape the inevitability of the world going to shit really, really quickly. Honestly, like, this game hit at a perfect time for me and for a large majority of the population, where I just needed a distraction that was nice, that was calming, that was relaxing, and that's exactly what Animal Crossing has been for me. It's nice, it's chill. Honestly, I'll work all day, but the game is still on my TV because I love just listening to the music, and it calms me. It's very nice. And it's become a bit of a phenomenon on social media. Like, I feel like all I see, and granted, a lot of who I follow on social media are in the games industry or somewhere related to it, but everyone is playing this damn game. My entire friends list is playing this damn game. My sister bought us, or had a Switch given to her as a Christmas gift just so she could get this game. She texted me today that her friend who's never owned a video game console wants to get a Switch to play Animal Crossing right now because she wants to play it in isolation. It is just bizarre how, like, this game is selling better than Pokemon did when it launched, which is just, how is this game selling better than Pokemon or Smash when they launched for the Switch? It makes zero sense, but I'm like you, Nathan. I'd not played one of these games before. I didn't think it was for me, and I'm totally hooked. Like, the gameplay loop has me. I don't know why. Maybe it is that Nintendo charm. Maybe it is the state of the world as we know it right now, but I'm totally in.
So, hold on. I know that I'm missing the opinions of two more hosts, but I figured that this is the kind of question that's worth asking at any time. What exactly is with the obsession with islands that have peaches on them?
I got me damn peaches.
I got some peaches too. They look like butts.
Peaches
Yeah.
look like butts. Yeah.
My island has peaches by default, so
Is that
Yeah.
is that really
yeah,
it?
that's
Yeah.
more or less it. Nathan, if you need more peaches, I'm your guy. I've got a
Okay.
peach island,
Sweet,
so you're
sweet,
good.
sweet. I had
Boy,
apples.
does he.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. AJ's seen my peaches.
I've seen
I
his
don't
Peach
have-
Island, if you know
Do you
what
see?
I mean.
Did you see
I
my
got
cherry
peaches as
area
well.
that I built?
I need more cherries, so I may come visit.
Okay,
later.
Something, don't pop it.
I popped my cherry island.
Your Animal
Yeah.
Crossing chair. You
There
pop,
it
there,
is.
there it is. We found it. Woo! Good job.
So, I mean, if you guys had to rank the fruits and fruit-like vegetables in Animal Crossing,
Ooh, this
what would
is
the
a-
ranking be?
I think peaches are number one.
I'm gonna throw a curveball
Okay.
out there and say I like coconuts, and I think coconuts
kind-
deserve a top 5 spot at least, maybe top 3.
Okay, well, it's a top 6 total, so
Okay.
it can be in the top 5.
exactly.
That's for sure.
I think top 3 for me.
Oranges are pretty good. Let's be real.
They're a little too domestic for me.
I'm a big Apple fan, so I'm happy.
But you use Android, I thought.
No, I hate
Yeah, I hate
Apple,
Apple.
the
Fuck
technology. I like Apple, the fruit.
I feel like cherries have been very hard to
Yeah.
come by. I do not know anyone that actually has a cherry island. So Nathan, I did see your conquest on Twitter of finding a cherry island and stealing all of the trees.
I found so many.
I want to steal one.
Was
of
that
your
impressive?
trees.
Like the amount of cherry trees I got?
Well, it's the first time I'd seen
Yeah.
it. So there's a mechanic in the game where you can pay. So there's two types of currency in the game: Nook Miles, which you earn through just day-to-day tasks, and bells, which you earn by either finding random bells on your island or selling goods back to the Nook family. And you can use Nook Miles to go and travel to uncharted islands, which have some random variety of things on them. So I've ended up on the Bamboo Island a number of times where everything's just bamboo
Haven't been there yet.
trees. You can... I feel like every other trip I take is to Bamboo Island. It's kind of a drag, to be honest. I have way too much bamboo. So you're welcome to some of my
Okay.
bamboo. Yeah, lots of bamboo. You can end up on an island that is just money rocks.
Yeah.
So another mechanic in the game, once per day, you can hit a rock on your island that will only produce money. So if you end up on an island that just has money rocks, you can end up with hundreds of thousands of bells after that trip.
I've not experienced any of these things.
You need
so far.
to use the Nook Miles, get those Nook travel
I've been
vouchers,
doing
whatever
it.
they are, and go to these islands. That's all I'm doing when I'm not just walking the circle. Okay, does anyone else find fishing the game oddly calming?
It's my least favorite mechanic. I'm gonna be honest.
I love fishing in this game, and I don't know why.
The fish move right as I'm sending the lure out.
Yeah.
A lot of the times.
Yeah.
But that's part of the battle. Like it's a battle of wills between you and the fish, and it for whatever reason it zens me out in a way that nothing else in this game does. I don't know why, it just does.
I wish the aiming of it was a
Precise.
little more
Wait,
precise. Yeah, aiming the fishing lure.
You just got to get good. Like I consistently
Oh,
within
get good, Mister. I can't shovel.
I shovel fine. Who said I can't
Oh,
shovel?
sorry. Was it the bug net that you had?
Oh yeah,
an issue with?
catching bugs I have an issue with.
Yeah,
fishing.
that's a lot easier than.
Yeah, I've got them on at least like no more than 3 casts, and I've got those fish coming after my lures, if you know what I mean.
What's everyone's island's name? I'm just generally curious.
I named mine Fooly Cooley after the anime.
All right. I named mine The Island in homage to Lost. I'm hoping I can get a hatch at some point that I can build.
My island's name is Genosha, after the island from the X-Men series where the mutants all go and seek refuge with Magneto and his Brotherhood of Mutants.
Oh, nice. Mine is Midgard, for the Norse or the Norse realm. So we all have general nerdy island names.
Did you
which is
expect
nice.
anything else?
Podcast.
Like my sister's is Lotus after the flower. I have a friend whose island is just her last name.
I have a friend who named his beach Basic
That's
Beach.
not bad.
I like that one. Like I've seen
Yeah.
like Cookstown, Pennsylvania. I've seen Cool Island, which is a little derivative, but whatever
My
floats your
wife
boat.
named hers Lilytown because my son really wanted to name it after Lilymon, his favorite Digimon.
I didn't know your son was a
You know what?
Digimon.
Right now he's on a bigger Digimon kick than Pokemon. He's been playing Digimon World on my PS4 a huge amount, and he's really craving to watch more Digimon anime, which I can't find reform really anywhere.
We need to talk more about Digimon at a later point.
We also have to get back to talking about My Hero
oh,
Academia
yeah, I
at
finished-
some point, but we can save that for a later show. I haven't
I
finished
just
season
finished
1
season
yet.
1 last night.
Yeah, we're gonna do the Press YYZ All Anime Edition episode. at
Maybe
some
that can
point.
be like a one-on-one or something, a greenfield episode that we can just put in the tank for when we
I
lose
don't
an
know. I
episode.
can talk about Fooly Cooley pretty good.
Anime is all about companionship and union. We need all 5 of us here all at once.
Well, I can talk about My Hero Academia now, and then Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon. That'll be my qualifications.
Yeah. Fooly Cooley and
Uh,
Dragon Ball Z for me. So.
To hop, skip, jump, and swim back over to the islands that Animal Crossing takes place on, I got to put you guys to task. You see, I tried out Animal Crossing New Leaf when it came out on the 3DS. I purchased a new copy of the game, so I paid full price for it, and I gave it the honest college try. And after a few days of playing it, I just couldn't get into the groove and stopped playing. Do you think that this game will be able to get me back in, or do you think that there's no hope for me?
It's a lot like New Leaf, I think, but it's evolved New Leaf because of the crafting mechanics. I don't believe were in New Leaf. I think it was just bells, and you'd sell bells and you'd buy tools. And there's lots of crafting mechanics and customizing things.
So I customized today I was able to buy a phone case customization kit and customized my phone case to look like a Pokédex, and I really like my phone. So I just wanted to call that out.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with the customization. I made my Cyberpunk jacket with the clothing.
Yeah, I saw that
editor,
on Twitter,
which is really cool. Yeah, I had a lot of fun making that.
I did something similar where if you guys were at EGLX and you met any of us there, I was the guy in the giant bomb hockey jersey, and I made that in Animal Crossing.
So I was lame and didn't make anything. I've just been stealing everyone else's designs. So I was wearing a Leafs jersey for a while, a bunch of kind of. I was wearing a Leafs jersey for. You're wearing a Penguins jersey.
It's a good
come
team.
On. Could you be any more of a bandwagoner for just following Crosby since he came to the league?
Crosby.
Yeah, Sidney Crosby, the best player of all time. Alex Ovechkin.
I liked him before Sidney Crosby.
Sure. Yeah, I found a bunch of kind of funny designs I've been rocking. I actually threw the kind of funny TO logo into the game, which I'm probably going to put up on my wall. That'll make me feel good. Someone made, so to get back to the talk about hockey jerseys, someone put up on Reddit every team's jersey with like multiple player names or whatever you might want. That's really cool.
I can't believe they did that.
So there's a website that you can generate QR codes that you can scan in with your phone and put essentially very, very like 32 by 32 low resolution pictures into the game itself. So I've got a picture of me and my girlfriend sitting right outside of my house.
That's how I put the KFTO logo in the game, and I was planning on doing the engagement photo of me and my fiance. So I don't know if I've told y'all the story, but we actually got engaged at Disney World.
Oh, wow.
So I was going to have the photo of us in front of the castle, but it did not translate to a 32 by 32 image, unfortunately. I'm going to give it another shot, but if you ever want to hear that story, I really like telling it, but I think that's a story for another day.
So the website that they were all referring to is acpatterns.com. And you can then go into the editor option and you can upload any JPEG that you want, and it'll do for the most part, pretty good job. That's actually, I made the Cyberpunk Samurai logo using that, where I got because I wanted to at least have my own version of it and not just also, from what I can tell, you can't really use this website with clothing. At least I don't think so.
It's just
there might
pictures.
be a way that you can. Oh, okay. Oh. Never mind. I'm dumb. I'm thinking of something else. Either way, I just realized I'm an idiot. Either way, it's a fantastic website, and it's really great to use.
With the app, you can actually scan in QR codes from New Leaf, and there's 4 QR codes because you need to scan in for the front, the back, and I think each sleeve.
That's for complicated the upper body wear. I don't think you don't need to do that for just images. You want to let's say if you want to put album artwork on your wall or whatever the case might be. I'm gonna hang up the KFTO logo on my wall, but you'd have to scan 4 QR codes. And for more complex custom work, the other interesting thing to note is that designs that you make natively in New Horizons there's no way to share those at the moment.
Yeah.
So you can't generate a QR code out of New Horizons so that you can share it with other people. These are all coming from New Leaf. That website actually existed for New Leaf and is something that people are just using now to create more custom art for their games. Hopefully it's something that Nintendo adds down the road, but right now there is no way to share native New Horizons designs with other
Yeah,
players.
I mean, you can always take a screenshot and then somebody else can just copy the exact pattern and layout that you did, but that's time consuming and somewhat tedious.
I think
Oh, sorry. Just on this topic, I can't believe Nintendo, but I can believe, but they haven't developed some sort of server where you can upload your images to and people can download them.
It's a very, very Nintendo game.
No, you know what's very Nintendo? If I have somebody visiting my island, you
my God.
basically can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sell certain things, you can't move stuff, you can't decorate.
Can't donate to the museum.
Can't donate to the museum. It's like, why?
You can dig holes. That's about it.
You can fish and stuff and knock trees to get wood for crafting and things like that, but
So, I mean, I figure that this is a good natural area to ask this question. Where do you guys come down on the whole, like, save options of this game? Are you guys, like, ambivalent, not a fan?
I think every person on my Switch should have the option to have their own island. They shouldn't have be forced to use mine. I think it's a bad decision. I think there was a way they could have gotten around it, and I don't know how or why they came to this conclusion.
So
thinking it would be
my
a good
thought
idea.
process behind it is that they probably think that most families only have one Switch. And if they do multiple islands, they probably can't play with each other because they'll be on their islands. There's maybe a way to get around that. But I think it's BS. This is apparently the way it's been since like the first GameCube one. And they've done this system. That being said, it sucks for my wife because she has to share her island with two of my sons. And they're constantly... Now, she's warned them. She's like, if you dig holes in my island or mess things up, you're going to lose Switch privileges. So, she's warning them good. But, like, she had to tell my son, Parker, to clean up his beach because she put his house on the beach. That's where he wanted it. And he's just got all his crap littered outside the beach. She's like, not only are we telling him to clean his room, she's telling him to go clean the stuff outside his house on the beach. So, but they'll get to the money rock before her, or they'll get get to the resources, and she won't know what's been farmed. So, it's a little frustrating. She really wishes like they could each have their own islands. Like there's some cute advantages with them playing with her, but it would have just been much nicer. And once again, that's one of those very Nintendo things that once again they do.
I feel like that also would limit the experience that each player has, because one of the things that I've been really enjoying is like the coming in every day and a new thing happens, like the store is built now, or the museum is now built, and like it's really rewarding, like working towards those achievements and then getting them the next day. And having multiple people on the same island, I feel like it's just going to take it away because only the first person's going to get to experience.
So, just to give my points to this as well, I'm ambivalent to this because it doesn't impact me personally. I'm the only person playing on my Switch. It is my island. No one else is going to be on my island, especially if this quarantine continues and I don't get to see my fiance for an extended period of time. That being said, it has come to light over the past few days with everyone playing this game that, to your point, Alex, it's only like the primary player that gets to progress towards some of these goals. So let's say I'm on an island of 3 people. If I'm not the person that created the island, then I can't upgrade the museum. I can't upgrade, like, I can't unlock the store. There's a bunch of stuff that's gate kept, essentially, to that primary player, which is a drag and is bad and is causing people to go and review bomb this game on Metacritic.
It's a very consumer unfriendly move.
Yeah, like if you I'll pull up the Metacritic user score, but I think it's something in like the 6.0 range.
Not as bad as World of Warcraft, or not, sorry, Warcraft 3, but
right. But if you compare that to the critical reviews, the critical reviews are like it's getting 9s and like 9s plus everywhere. So it's very clear that
I mean, I was going to say a Metacritic user score of like a 6.0, I feel like that speaks to the game's quality that it's still that high.
Yeah, so the Metacritic score for critics is a 91, and the user score is a 63.
so
But like the user reviews are totally polarized. There's 614 positive reviews and 543 negative reviews. It's basically 50-50. And it's just a bunch of
Is there
zeros.
an
This
option?
game is crap. The multiplayer is broken. Please fix this. Blah, blah, blah.
Is there an option to filter out reviews by people who time travel?
Time traveling is
It
cheating.
is.
people like okay, honestly, play the game however you want to play it. I don't care. But for me, I'm experiencing this.
Yes, in the broad sense, I don't care, but you're breaking the game and you're a bad
You're not
person.
a bad person. You're paying the money.
You're an
No,
awful
you're
person.
paying money for the game. You can play it any way you want. It doesn't impact me or the way that I'm playing the game because I'm playing it majority of it in single player. I will travel to other people's islands. We'll socialize. We'll drop stuff off for each other. We'll shop at each other's shops. I sold so many peaches yesterday. It wasn't even funny. Well, it was kind of funny. But at least within... At least within my social circle, I don't think anyone I'm playing with is time traveling. At least I can't tell that they are. And it's funny going into this. Like, I'm so dialed into the games industry that I'm seeing all these really interesting tricks being shared on Twitter and social media and things like that. Like Joey Noel of Kind of Funny shared out that you some custom designs for stamps, and they're the 6 different fruits. So I'm putting down stamps next to my trees, and my sister came to my island and she sees these things. She's like, what the hell? How do you get these? What am I doing wrong? Like, how do I do this? And she's someone who's played these games. Like, she played the DS game, she played the Wii game, she played the 3DS one, at least one of them. Because I think there was a couple.
3DS?
Because there was like
there's only
there was
one.
the Home Designer
Oh, yeah,
one.
Home Designer.
Oh, was Home Designer 3DS?
No,
or Wii
Home
U?
Designer was 3DS. They don't count it as a real Animal Crossing game because it's just designed in houses. It's a spin-off in the purest sense. But New Leaf had like many updates over the years.
Yeah, New Leaf was the one she was playing, but she came to my island. She was just like starstruck by the kind of stuff that I'd been doing, and that it's like no, I'm dialed in. Like, everyone in my sphere of influence is playing this game, so I'm getting all these tips and tricks, not through time traveling, but just through Reddit and things of that nature. But yeah, time traveling is wrong, but if it doesn't affect me, I don't care.
It's a criminal act, and you should be arrested for it. I'm going to take Greg Miller's stance on this.
HR has spoken.
I was just gonna say, like, there's a few moments where I can understand where it's like sometimes there's just nothing that you can do. Well, I mean, you can do stuff, but it just doesn't feel like you can progress in the game until you wait for the next day. And so I can understand. I know, but like, there's times where it's like I want to just play the game now, and I can understand why somebody would do it. I haven't done it personally, and I'm probably not going to because I've really enjoyed the cycle of logging on every day and doing the new things, but I can understand why people do it.
There are absolutely things to nitpick about this game. For example, when I go to the I want to load up my inventory full of oranges, and I want to go to Mitch's island, and I want to sell them for 100 bells more. Why can I only buy at maximum 5 at a time?
Because the goal of the
try and load up my inventory. Why can't I just slide it? Have a slider that counts up in succession, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all the way up to my inventory capacity at the time, and just buy all of those at once. Like that, there's a quality of life there that is missing. And I understand that is quite.
I was going to bring that up.
If Pokemon of all games can do that, I don't see why Animal Crossing can't. But the goal of the game isn't to buy your fruit in bulk from your store and flip it for 100 bells more. It is to take your time and plant more trees and get more fruit per day, and then take that fruit, which you've paid nothing for.
Okay, but take
fruit.
bells.
Like, you're going to be. Sorry, go ahead.
Take fruit out of it, and let's just talk crafting kits. If I want to buy crafting kits at 5 at a time, it's tedious. I tried to do that earlier today. Like
crafting kits?
Oh, you guys haven't gotten crafting yet.
Kits.
Or
I've gotten crafting, but I don't know what you mean by crafting.
No, wait, not crafting. The kits where you can change the color of things.
The customization kits.
Sorry, customization kits. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to buy them 5 at a time as well. It's such a quality of life thing. It's been one of my major complaints about the game.
So are you customizing a lot? Because like, I unlocked that feature. I got the first 50 or whatever from Tom Nook, and I haven't really touched it since, other than customizing my phone.
So I customized my I'm trying to customize my furniture. Like, I've made the simple wooden bed green, and you could customize your sheets on it, and you can actually pick it from the fabrics. So if you wanted to use the Pokedex fabric or print you have on it, you can do that on the bed.
I can have a Pokedex bed?
Yeah.
All right, give me a minute. I'm going to go get my game.
He's actually getting up and leaving to go get
So
his
I know
game.
you guys went into it a little bit, but I actually haven't visited anyone's islands yet or had anyone visit my islands yet. So what is that like? Like, what can you do? What can you not do? Is it really just they can come to your island and chop wood? Is that really it? Like, are there anything else you can do with your friends?
There's two steps to that. You go to somebody's island. They have to have their gate open. You go to their island and you can just kind of interact. You can pick things up off the ground, whatever. Then you have to become quote unquote best friends within the game, not on the Switch level, within the game itself. And then you can have what is called shovel privileges, which lets you dig things up and chop things down and all that.
Okay.
No,
go ahead.
No, that's what I was going to say. It's kind of it's an interesting system. There's just nothing to do once you have people there. It would have been nice for Nintendo to put some like activities in when you have players over, whether it's little mini games or something.
Hey, let's all use a dodo ticket and go to the same island. That would be something.
Yeah, and you can't do that.
Like, let's all go catch tarantulas on
create
Tarantula
a party
Island
system where if someone comes to my island to sell their pears at my store for a premium, let me travel back with them to their island without having to close my gate and then search for somewhere to go and then wait for them to open their gate and then search again and then it hasn't actually quite connected yet, so then keep searching until the gate's actually open and then go. And then sit through another 30 to 45 second load before it actually loads you into the game, which also pauses the game for the person whose island you're going to and anyone else who's on that island.
Oh my god.
Like,
whenever somebody, if you leave your gate open, whenever somebody comes to your island, it has to say, hey, somebody's coming, and you have to stop everything you're doing, and it has to like load them into your island. It's once again, it's nitpicky. Is it that big of a problem? Is it really interfering with my enjoyment of the game? Not necessarily, but it's something you definitely notice that you just kind of slap your head at and just think, Nintendo, come on.
The Pokedex design looks dumb on my bed, so I'm not going to put it on my bed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Way to, talk this up to immediately just knock me back down. I don't appreciate that, Nathan.
I didn't know that was going to happen. My apologies.
Game's ruined for me. I'm going to play it never.
So I want to take a step back and bring Doom back into this conversation by asking, which game, in your opinion, is the more therapeutic game? Which game in these dire, weird times assuages your consciousness and makes it seem like everything's going to turn out okay?
So here's the thing. They're kind of on a never-ending cycle with each other. Because when you start playing one, you get really into one. You're really into Animal Crossing. You're really like, oh, this is so peaceful. It's so nice just going, catching some butterflies or trying to catch the tarantula. Though that might be like the most intense the game gets, is you're trying to sneak up on the tarantula and then it starts chasing you. That's as intense as it's going to get. And you're like, okay, this is really calming, but I need something to stimulate me just a little bit more. And so then I go play Doom, and then I'm like, oh my god, this is so intense. This is at 11 at all times, and then I need a break. I need to relax again, and I go back to Animal Crossing, and then Animal Crossing is really nice and relaxing, but then I need something to stimulate, and it just is a never-ending cycle. So I think they're really perfect companion pieces to each other.
Absolutely. And I've had like sort of the opposite experience to you. Like, yeah, I did technically play Doom a little bit more at first, but then I fell really hard into Animal Crossing. Kind of got into that, and then today was the first time since Doom came out that I picked it back up and played some more of it. And now I'm just like, man, I really want to get back to Doom. Like I've had a good fill of Animal Crossing, but you got to check in every day and get your kind of do your dailies and make sure you go to the machine, get your Nook miles. You got to go in, you got to do all that stuff. But then it's like Doom time, and I'm kind of having that opposite experience.
Sorry, I got distracted catching bugs.
I've only played Animal Crossing, so I can't talk to Doom. They do feel like they're very perfect companion pieces, though. I'll say that. I think all the memes of Isabelle and Doomslayer on the internet are very apt. I would.
Did you guys see the IGN artwork they did where they flipped the characters and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
neat!
yeah.
I caught an emperor butterfly.
Those are worth $4,000 each.
Yeah, I know, but my net just broke. God damn it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
To get back to that, it was just such an amazing crossover that of like the most unlikely communities coming together when the games were coming out, and then how everyone, including Bethesda, like leaned so hard into it was just so nice, and it was such a nice wholesome experience to have during these kind of uncertain and kind of chaotic times. To have that wholesomeness just kind of be ever prevalent was very nice.
I feel like it's super. Sorry.
Yep.
If I can just say this very quickly, I think that it's incredibly rare that we see two games come out that are not at each other's throats for people's time and money. Like, I feel like every time, two major games are coming out on the same day, it's like, this November, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3, and Battlefield 3 are going head-to-head. Shit's gonna go down. Or it's something like some random indie game just so happens to be releasing on the same day as a big-budget AAA game, and they're not even on the same planetary universe.
Yeah,
but
and they just
in
get
this case,
trampled.
Yeah, in this case, these games really, they really complemented
So they
each other, and
complemented
that's
each
really
other, but
impressive.
if you look at like the active Twitch audience for these games, Animal Crossing absolutely demolished Doom in terms of the number of people watching it. It was like almost like 2 or 3 to 1 in terms of the number of viewers watching Animal Crossing streams versus Doom streams.
So, what do you
That
interpret from
more
that?
people are gonna probably want to play Doom, and people just want to drop into chat and relax. Like, I feel like the zeitgeist right now is very much about Animal Crossing, and is probably why some of my non-gamer friends are asking me questions about this game and considering buying Switches of their own, which are now apparently incredibly difficult to find in stores.
Yep.
Who would have thunk it?
I mean, yeah, there's also not very many stores that are selling Switches anymore that are open right now, so I can
Best
see
Buy,
why that would be a
Walmart,
problem.
as far as I
Is Best Buy
I
still
bought
open?
Animal Crossing at a Best Buy, which was probably not a good idea, but I did.
Can I tell you my Best Buy story from yesterday?
I can tell you mine from when I
Okay.
picked up
So
Animal
Oh,
Crossing.
we have two
absolutely.
Switches in our house. One for me and one for my wife and my kids. So I have one so when I travel, I can take it with me, because I wasn't allowed to take the Switch to travel because then my kids couldn't use it. But anyways, we have two docks. We have a dock on the downstairs TV, and we have a dock on the kids' playroom. Well, my wife decided that she wanted to have a dock in our bedroom as well. So I reserved a dock online at Best Buy, and this was yesterday, and I went there and got it. And I got to say, I was really impressed. I know the guys at the Best Buy because of my job, and I go in and visit frequently. But they had green tape on the sidewalks, spacing out how far you had to be from the other customers. They would ask you if you've reserved something or if you have something specific you want. You're not allowed to go into the store and look. And then they'll either send you into door 1 or door 2, where they have stations set up to sanitize the pin pads after every use. And they have the employees about 8 feet away. So I was really impressed with the setup that they've got going on in this situation. That being said, are they an essential service? I don't know. But there's a few stores open that are an essential service that shouldn't be. But this is a different topic. Sorry, I got off topic.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the number of people that are right now having to work remotely, and Best Buy provides supplies to allow people to do their jobs in that sense, then yes. So my Best Buy story is very similar to yours, even though it was a few days earlier. So there was no green tape or anything like that, but all of the customers who were waiting in line outside the store did practice good social distancing, which was nice. And so the reason that I went to a store to buy this game was I had a gift card to use. So they wouldn't even touch my gift card. I had to scratch the gift card myself, put it down on the desk. You'd scan the gift card, and then I would use the pin pad, and they'd immediately wipe the pin pad down when I was done, which was quite nice. And another, sorry, go ahead.
That's I was gonna say that's funny. I mean, this is not on the same level, but when I was living in Japan, those guys don't like receiving your money or anything like that directly from you. Usually you put your money in like a tray that's in front of them, and then they take the tray and they personally deal with the money themselves.
In Japan, that's like a respect thing, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
culturally, it's a respect for like the money and the time investment that it took you to make that money and
So
and all
PSA to anyone who is still, shopping during the times like the times we're going through, or even when all of this craziness does wind down, stop using cash anywhere you can. It's dirty. Hundreds of people are touching it. It doesn't make sense to still be using it. We have very accessible debit credit systems, at least in Canada. We have these other avenues to do so. You can do it through your phone. You can do it through your watch. You can do, I don't know, any other countless things. Stop using paper, or at least in Canada, plastic money. It's dumb. Don't do it. No coins, no nothing. We shouldn't even be having this conversation, but we are.
Yeah, if you guys don't like your money anymore, be sure to send it in to us. We'll be sure to keep it safe for you. So if you ever change your mind, we can always send it
I'll
back
take
to
some
you.
money.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
yeah.
guys, I swear to God.
Yeah, Cozy's responsible for sending it all back, but we'll spread it out evenly.
We won't give Mitch any
But
because
Cozy
he'll
has
have
to send
issues
it
with
all
his
back.
job.
For sure.
Yeah.
Funny story about that. I actually got an email from my job today saying that if I or anyone, if I had to give care to anybody who had gone or gotten sick with this virus, or if I myself become sick with this virus and am unable to work, they'll give me an additional 10 sick days.
Oh
this year,
wow,
which is
that's
quite
very nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, it's a
Ooh.
big company, so they can afford to do it, but it's nice to see them taking care of their employees, because honestly, just, this is very tangential to the conversation we're having, but it wasn't until today's Wednesday, so Monday of this week, so March the 23rd, that they officially closed our office. So the office was still technically open, even though I worked from home the entirety of this past week.
My place of employment, I make countertops because we quote unquote support the construction industry. Our very expensive luxury countertops are an essential service. So
Let's get away from the talk of work, because we could go down a rabbit hole that might get you fired.
Oh yeah, we could. Yeah.
So Animal Crossing.
I do want to say something to quickly get back to the quick discussion that we had on Twitch before. I was thinking it over, and when you're playing a video game on Twitch, you want to kind of maintain as much of a personality as possible. You want to be kind of talking and interacting with your chat. And when you're playing a really intensive or difficult game like Doom Eternal, that can sometimes be difficult to do. I have no doubt in my mind that Animal Crossing is undoubtedly the more popular of the two games, and that's a huge factor of why it's bigger on Twitch. But I would have to imagine that another big factor why it's big on Twitch is because if you're playing a game like Animal Crossing and it's a pretty calm, chill experience, you have a lot of your mental faculties aren't occupied by you playing the game. You have the kind of withal to be able to kind of speak and commentate and interact with the community.
Chill games are better for streaming than action games. I totally agree with you on that point, at least from a streamer's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I streamed 3 hours of Doom Eternal on the first day, and it was physically exhausting trying to keep up with both the game and talking as much. When I was finished, I was so drained, and I just didn't want to, I needed to, it was 4 a.m, so I needed to go to sleep. But I was just drained completely, because not very many people were watching. Maybe
Hey.
Yeah, there was a certain point where it was no one.
That
doesn't matter.
10 minutes.
I was in there for
I
a
meant Doom
while
Eternal.
with Doom Eternal,
Oh,
just to
thank
give you
God.
some company, but
Yeah, I appreciated that, but there was a point where it was kind of more empty, but I was still trying to keep up the presence, because there could be somebody watching who doesn't chat, and maybe I just didn't know that they were there, which is entirely possible. And so just with that game, it was just it was very draining, and I have a big respect for streamers.
I had
now
a similar
because of it.
experience with the Smash tournament I helped facilitate this past weekend, where it was, I want to say we were at it for 5.5 hours, and not only was I helping to provide some terrible commentary, but also helping to facilitate the subsequent matches and making sure people were ready to go and letting them know when to join the lobby and things like that. I was so tired when that wrapped up. It was only maybe 11 o'clock on a Saturday, and I was just I need to sleep, and I think I slept for 12 or 13 hours that night. I was so tired after that. So Cozy, mad props to you for doing that on the regular.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
really.
was going to say, welcome to my life, but you phrased the end of your sentence in a way that
Always.
acknowledged my suffering. So
Well, you
I'm
listened
not
to
gonna
last
be
week's
too
show,
hard
right?
on
We were
you.
just giving you
Oh,
shout outs
thank
left
you.
and right about your Cozy Direct. So you did listen to the show, right?
I can
All
only
right.
recall 2.
Really? God damn it, Cozy.
Not even the one
I
that
listened to
weren't
parts of
on?
it, and it's not for a lack of me not caring, or I don't know. If
We
that's
even
how
did a shorter show
That
just for
was a
you.
double negative.
I'm not kidding when I say that I've been really
I'm just
pressed for
joshing
time
you.
over the
I
past
know how
week.
busy you can be.
Wait.
I'm just messing with you.
I will make sure to listen to the
No,
entirety
don't.
of it by
It's gonna be old news by next week. Listen to this one again.
By next week, listen to this one.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, why
I did
not?
want to ask you guys
Come on,
another
guys.
question,
It was a good
sort of related to
discussion.
Animal Crossing, but also sort of related to the circumstances of the world at the moment. Has anyone else spent far more on video games over the last 2 weeks than they normally would have?
No.
Yes, but that's because I bought a Pro controller for Animal Crossing.
I've
It's
over
yeah,
recent
a
months
great
and recent
controller.
years, I've actually tried to keep better control over my spending when it comes to video games that I don't finish and I'm don't pick up again and let my backlog accrue. But I like I said last week, I had a gift card for Animal Crossing, so that made it fairly simple.
I mean, okay, so then to tell my stories, I wasn't planning on picking up Doom and Animal Crossing, but then I found a gift card, and then I found a promo code, so I figured, hey, why not? And then a lot of film studios are releasing their films early on digital. So I'm like, yeah, Ford versus Ferrari is only $15. Yeah, The Gentleman is only $15. Yeah, Skyrim is on sale, and I've never played it.
You've never
Yeah.
played Skyrim? What the?
Nope.
Wait, really?
Wait, did you get
Yeah,
it in
really.
VR or
Uh,
regular Skyrim?
Regular. I thought about doing the VR, but I figured it would break my eyes the way that Tetris Effect nearly
Tetris
killed
Effect
me the
you?
other day.
I when
I have an issue when I play Tetris that I don't blink much, and putting those screens as close to my eyes as they are without me blinking actually caused a real bad headache when I finished it. I'm glad I finished it, but it
So
nearly killed
good.
me in VR. I also bought The Last Guardian and it
I
was on
had-
sale, and I never played it, and I wanted it. And also Knack 2 was under $10, so I
When-
bought that. I have a problem, guys. I have a
Hell
problem.
yeah, that's a good platinum.
And it's only going to get worse the longer we're stuck inside.
Wait. Just a brief tangent. When Skyrim VR came out on the PSVR, that's when I bought my VR headset. I got it, and I immediately wished I'd gotten it on the Switch instead. So, just in case you're
I
curious.
thought about it on the Switch, but it was like $13 to pick it up on PS4.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I had to at that point, and I've never played it.
The
And
better version on PS4,
I-
anyways.
for me,
Fair enough.
yeah.
well, that's what I figured, and I was tossed between that
Yeah.
or The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
But it
The-
wasn't the complete collection of The Witcher 3 that was on sale, so I could justify just doing
Oh,
Skyrim
wow.
and not both, which is good for me. Pat on the back that I didn't spend more money than I had to, even though I did, because I didn't need Knack, and I didn't need The Last Guardian, and I probably didn't need Skyrim, and I have a problem, guys. I need help.
Well, you'll have to tune in to our next episode to see if we can figure out whether we can fix Mitch. My name's Alexander Kazina. You can follow me on Twitter at Alex Kazina, ALEXKZINA.
We don't do that anymore,
we put
Cozy.
this in the show notes. I like I said, yeah, the pirate prison maze, getting through all that stuff, it left me completely mentally exhausted. I apologize. I'll get back at that Mama Fratelli someday. Mitch, where can they find you on the social medias?
So they can find this show, which we should probably shout out first, on Twitter at PressYYZ. I think Instagram's the same, even though I don't do anything with it. We're now on Twitch at twitch.tv/PressYYZ that Alex had been streaming on earlier. You can find me at Mr. Mitch George, MR Mitch George, on all of the social channels. So Twitter, Instagram, PSN now, after I changed my name. And that's about it for me.
Cool. For the record, I did not state my Twitter account first because I thought that my Twitter account was more important than the Press YYZ Twitter account.
you probably have more followers, so that's understandable. But
That is
we're
true.
growing. I pray to God we're growing.
Yeah, we're gonna need a backup plan if the world continues the way it's going.
AJ.
You can find me all over the internet. I am at @TimesHero, capital T, capital H.
Alex.
So Twitter, I am blatantly _Alex. On Instagram, I am blatantly Alex. I am right now the one who's mainly using the Press YYZ Twitch account, so twitch.tv/PressYYZ. And also, just because I'm really proud of it, I launched a website today.
Ooh.
It's alexanderballant.com. It's got a lot of my photography and some of my, well, one of my assignments is right now up on there that I finished a couple months ago that I'm actually pretty proud of, called Cyberworld. Very much into cyberpunk. And yeah, so I'm just going to continuously update it with a lot of my portfolio stuff. So check it out. It's alexanderballant.com.
All right, and Nathan.
You can find me at _NMac on Twitter. Also follow me on ps4blog.net, where I just posted reviews for not only Paper Beast, as we talked earlier in the show, but on Switch, Bubble Bobble for 4 friends.
Neat. Well,
You reviewed that and we didn't talk about it. I'm actually legitimately interested in that Bubble Bobble game, but we
Yes.
can talk about that offline.
maybe that's how we'll fix you next week. That
Or-
review will just
No,
completely...
you'll fix me by making me buy more games.
It's
Yeah,
like
that
he's
makes
gonna
sense.
spend more money.
Will
I already
we
have a
see-
problem. Y'all are just enabling my addictions here.
You're looking
Oh,
a little itchy.
man.
A little twitchy.
Is a chest burster about to burst out of Mitch's chest? Will more retail therapy from home fix Mitch? Is Mitch ever
Probably
going to be
not.
okay? We'll have to find out on the next episode of Press YYZ. Goodbye.
Bye.
Later.
Take care.
Goodbye.